What is up with it, YouTube? It's Coffee. Tapping back in, man, and a whole lot going on in the blogosphere, man. Herman, Nipsey Hussle's big homie, Cowboy, Herman Douglas, however you want to reference the man, Big Thundercat or whatever. There's always been a lot of talk about these charges against him, that he's on that list. And 600, on No Jumper, on different platforms, came out and was saying that the story that Cowboy had been saying, where in the midst of a robbery, he scratched a woman's breast, like unintentionally while snatching a chain, is what Cowboy said. 600 was saying that that was cap. And I believe this is allegedly, don't quote me on this. He was even going on to saying there was other charges. And I don't know, it's always like the whole situation with Cowboy being on the list has never been clarified. You know what I mean? Me personally, I always just don't fluck with people on a list. You know what I mean? Like if the individual's been hit with that offender tag, I'm like, yo, stay over there, B. You heard? But it seems Street TV, who really digs in and does a lot of journalistic work, has put up this post going in a little more about Cowboy's situation. As I'm not sure who posted this originally. If someone out there does, tap in and let me know. Someone posted him, and it says this is a PDO charge. This is Epstein-like or something like that. You know what I mean? And Street TV said the following. They said, this post is in no way defending or condoning any actual offense, but to merely show the distinction between pedos with a minor and actual battery. Cowboy, aka Herman Douglas, has never been convicted of any PDO charge. In 92, he was charged with 243.4A, and that is not a PDO charge. This is the only charge that Cowboy has ever been connected to in Megan's Law. This is that law. Any person who touches an intimate part of another person while that person is unlawfully restrained by the accused or an accomplice, and if the touching is against the will of the person touched and is for the purpose of actual arousal, actual gratification, or actual abuse, is guilty of actual battery. A violation of this subdivision is punishable by imprisonment in a county jail for not more than 1 year, and by a fine not exceeding $2,000, or by imprisonment in the state prison for 2, 3, or 4 years, and by a fine not exceeding $10,000. Anyone or any platforms claiming that Cowboy is a pedo are liars, guilty of defamation, and are deliberately deceiving the public. Stop listening to these platforms and stop supporting any platform that promotes, doesn't correct, and allows false and serious claims to be made. Now, just in general, not even speaking on Cowboy, there is just period in this blogosphere-ish, there is a lot of just unfounded-ish that gets put out there and then just kind of gets reported on as facts. You know what I'm saying? And allegations become facts, or things that weren't even allegations, narratives get spun into stuff. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not referencing that towards this whole Cowboy situation, but I don't know. It's like no one's ever got to the full bottom of his situation. Like I said, we had 600 saying different narratives. And again, I believe, once again, don't quote me, from my recollection, I think he was saying that there were more situations. But I don't know. What Street TV is saying here, though, is just anyone who's saying that he's a PDO is flat out lying and defaming him. Now, again, that story he tells is like he was not set up, but I guess we could say railroaded. I don't know. That he was, I believe he said it was, and again, I believe this is when he said he was out there getting high or just wilding in the streets, and he was robbing everyone in a strip mall, and in the midst of it, he accidentally scratched a woman's breast while grabbing a chain. Some people have said, well, yo, that girl was this age, so you're foul, period, for doing that. Some people are saying, yo, that story ain't true. Very often with individuals that are hit with this tag, they got all kinds of different stories about, you know what I mean? And it's wild too. Oftentimes family members, friends, people want to defend people when like it's clear as day what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking about this situation. I'm talking about period. There'll be people that there's all kinds of physical evidence, DNA evidence, everything. And they're like, oh, this, you know, everyone always got set up. No one never did it, according to a lot of motherfuckers. But I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this? You know, do you think that this clears it up for Cowboy? Or do you think, to you, are you still like, well, okay, and it was not a PDO offense, is saying it wasn't that, but is it some still some foul, fucked up ish in your opinion or whatever? Tap in, comment, let me know. Then, and again, I'm not sure who posted this about the PDO stuff, but then I just saw over there on that Nothing to Something podcast, Cowboy continues to call out Wack 100. You know, he wants a fade with him, and he's even calling out Adam22, but he elaborated and was saying like, yo, since you was halfway civilian, but you're playing in street-ish, if you don't want to take that, I'll run it. You know, I got other people that will run it with you that are, I guess, more on your level or whatever. I mean, in reality, neither of these cats are going to run a fade, Adam or Wack, you feel me? But he's more or less just saying things have gone too far with all the ish that no jumpers involved in, all the street games. And, you know, I feel like we see, I don't know, Cowboy, I don't believe said this, but a lot of the ish that Brick Baby has been doing that he takes issue with, that like, yo, Brick Baby just really is crashing out bad, man. Like, I don't know, this, like, entertainment is entertainment. You know, I always talk about in the blogosphere how different worlds intersect and overlap, the streets, gang culture, music, etc. You know, it's like a tricky thing. Same thing in the whole prison genre and other sectors of the blogosphere. You know, like things get wild, but like the lines are being blurred in crazy ways. And, you know, we're hearing people who are tapped into the streets saying things really are trickling into the streets. Like, it's just getting wild, man. And it seems like Cowboy just had enough, and he's saying it's time where both these cats got to catch the fade, you know? And I believe he was even saying, too, when entertainment gets thrown in the mix, like, what would be more entertaining than to some of your favorite internet personalities who claim to be tough? We know Adam don't claim to be tough, but he plays a lot of games. He plays dumb a lot. We're going to get to that in a moment. Stay tuned. We got, like, 2 more topics to cover. But, like, Wack, you know, he does talk all the tough guy-ish. But at the end of the day, man, a lot of cats, and this just don't even go for all these individuals we're talking about in the blogosphere, just a lot of people in life really ain't willing to shoot the fade, shoot the fair ones, whatever you call it, from where you're from, you know, shoot the schmitties. Like, now with this internet-ish, like, everyone's calling it fades. That was a West Coast thing, you know, but that's just become like the universal term for running a fade. But it's just wild because it's like there's always all these talks about fades, but none of them really seem to happen. And then we're even hearing of fake fades happening, man, like Lush and Almighty Suspect. We're hearing that may very well have not really happened. It's crazy, man. You can't believe ish out here, man. You know, they always say believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Now we got AI in the mix, so you got to even question what you see. You know, it's wild. You know, believe 20% of what you see, believe 15% of what you see. You know, and then people editing and playing camera games and stuff is crazy. But Wack and Adam ain't gonna take these fades. And speaking of that, we move on to some Wack 100 content here. He's going in on Finesse 2 times and talking about his mama. He says, you know, I guess Finesse 2 times dissed him on a track saying he got 100K on Wack's head, right? So some cats are saying, yo, Wack, you ran to the internet with that. That's right. That's dry snitching, wet snitching, pause snitching, I don't know, you know, but Wack saying, nah, he put it in a song, what the fuck you want from me? And you see his mom got a money laundering charge, and Wack says, warning, Finesse 2 times is in a desperate situation. He needs to clear his mama of these charges. Hey, bozo, take that 100K you had on me and put it into your mama's bail or legal. Streets, I warned you. Jay Prince still doing business with a known rat, which is wild because Wack always does business with a known rat and with 6ix9ine. And it's like, yo, I'm just doing business with him. It ain't street-ish. So there's the hypocrisy and all that, right? The exposers already showed all the victims in paperwork. When I interviewed and did biz with 6ix9ine, they had a whole lot to say. I stood on my square and still do business with the man. As long as you're not a PDO, which is wild because we know 6ix9ine had a case like that. Ain't that something? I believe he pled out on it. That's the thing too when it comes to the legal system, you know? Like individuals get hit with cases. Do you fight that case head on? Do you take it to trial? Are you like, yo, I was charged with some foul ish. I ain't pleading to nothing. You know, like Tupac. And Tupac blew trial and then still fought it and ended up getting out on an appeal bail. And technically, since he died while the appeal was still going through, it's like Aaron Hernandez, where he died an innocent man, I believe. I don't know. That was Massachusetts state law. That's how Hernandez wife or baby mom, can't remember, I think it was his wife, that's how she ended up getting some of that bread that was coming to her that was going to get voided out because of his situation, different contract clauses and things like that. But because he passed while the appeal was still going on, he ain't do it as far as the law is concerned. I don't know if New York goes that way as well, but the point is Tupac fought it and we all seen and heard, and, you know, Vlad T even had the victim or alleged victim. I don't know if you want to look at it from the legal standpoint or whatever. It's all wild, man. But he had her on there. And, you know, Pac really did get set up, but he kept fighting. A lot of cats sit here like the Wicked Mouse team taking pleas, talking about, oh, I'm from a Commonwealth. You have to plead guilty to everything in a Commonwealth you do. And he, you know, exposed lying about a lot of ish in regards to that. I don't know, man. But, you know, it's just wild to hear Wack say that about 6ix9ine when as long as they ain't a, you know, an offender or whatever, it's whatever, you know. But yeah, as long as you're not a PDO, PIST or elderly abuse, I don't care what you did to somebody. I'ma do my business and keep it moving. Now y'all said no way, I'm wrong. Jay Prince Jr., why haven't you dropped this artist? Y'all said this was the way. Don't Get Quiet Now, Free Honeycomb Brazy. He tagged Academics and he said, looking like your mama looking ass, man. And then Skinny 9 in there saying, amen, and another rat, soft. Yo, Skinny from the 9, stop it, man. You're a walking L machine for life, B, for life. But you see someone saying, yo, you know, telling the internet this is snitching. Wack said, dummy, put in a song. Well, technically 6ix9ine had a charge with an underage girl and battery charge pending. If you keeping it 100, selective politics. So it's just wild, you know, to see this situation going on, you know, concurrently as Cowboy's trying to call him out for the fade. It's like, I don't know, you know, it's crazy, man. Wack 100 just always stirring the pot, mixing it into doing business and pushing internet propaganda and stuff to try to push his bottom line, but really never standing on anything with all the tough talk, man. He might as well just start calling himself Civilian 100 and, you know, like, hey, I don't run fades. I'm not that, you know, because like in many ways, that's how he acts. He acts like a, you know, an immature motherfucker who likes to stir ish up. He's got like a lot of Adam22 in him. Pause. You know, the same type vibes, but won't run nothing. Comment. Let me know what you think about it. And then last up, we got to run this, talking about the other individual Cowboy was mentioning, Adam22. This is just crazy. This is from the ICP episode, which was a great episode. A lot of stuff that I wanted to get to on there. We covered a few things, you know, with Benzino, Eminem, ICP beefing with Benzino. A lot. There was a lot of really good content on there. And I actually enjoyed Wack on there more than I typically do, you know? It was like, kind of like, damn, Wack, why can't you normally be on these vibes instead of all the bullish you're always on? But this just is another example of how devious and flucked up Adam22 is, like on another level, y'all. This is talking about the ICP Tech 9 beef, which was crazy, man. It like, I never expected them to beef in a million years. And as you're going to hear, things almost kind of started trickling over to the streets, you know, in a way. It could have happened. It could have went like that. It could have went bad. But when you hear Adam's response to like I said, this ain't about the whole beef. This is just about when the beef was getting squashed. I do plan to do a video on the whole beef. Comment and let me know if you're intrigued to see that video. But they're talking about piecing it up and, you know, how they did the right thing for society, for the fans, for whatever, just to make peace, you know? And listen to what Adam22 says, y'all.
Here's what happened. So, y'all, the next day, he was like, listen, you say you don't want juggalos to be a gang. He was like, I'm a blood. You're gonna make juggalos a gang. You know what I'm saying? If we fall out, it's gonna be a gang war. You know what I'm saying? And that's what something like that's gonna happen, you know? And I said, Are you trying to punk me? I was like, am I supposed to be afraid of that? You know, like, is that why me and you
heard that
shouldn't
wrong.
fall out? You know what I mean? And he said, no, I don't want to get shot.
He was worried about the juggalos.
Yes.
That's what he said. He said,
too. But he also
he's
knew,
being a bigger man also, though.
He also knew the battle y'all was fighting or at fault with them feds. He was telling you some real shit.
Yeah.
Because he run with the homies. He does, right?
Right.
His security guard is a G homie, Muggs from Inglewood, right? Now imagine the juggalos versus the Bloods, and now you got shootings going on. Oh, you motherfuckers really a gang now.
Yeah, now that's starting to sound like some gang shit.
So now he's
then
saying,
the feds got a point.
He's telling you not a threat as if, hey, homie, on this, he's saying, listen, bro, this can't happen, because if this shit happened, the very thing y'all was fighting to get away from
It's gonna happen.
is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he was right.
Yeah, he was right because
Yeah,
they started coming down on him. You know what I'm saying? To the point where when he played in Detroit, we were like, all right, we're gonna come out before you go on and introduce you and shit, smooth shit out, so everybody knows that there ain't no
It's
beef
cool.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And we did it, and it was
But
cool.
when we came in,
Oh yeah, yeah, we
from
had
our security guards, right?
yeah, we went to the
Man,
metal
they
detector.
slammed us on the wall, dog.
Oh man,
Put their hand on the nuts real hard.
everything short of a
We're
cavity
like,
search.
oh, what the fuck? You know,
Yeah.
Detroit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Damn.
So they really thought you guys were about to do something.
And then we walk around a corner and Tech Nine, Chris Calco, sitting there, we give them hugs, you know. I think they were scared. I think they were nervous we were about to go out there and say some crazy
yeah, they
shit.
were. They
You know
were.
what I mean?
I can't remember
Like-
what they said, but they kind of relayed that to us. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
were
look, man,
nervous
just
we were about
yeah.
to go out there and be
We're like, we ain't gonna, we ain't here to
But
fuck
I think
nobody
That
up.
would have been
you know?
I
insane.
think y'all
we
You went
knew
out
that.
this there. Oh man, that would have been wild. That would be historic shit right there. But I'm
no,
glad you
we went
smoothed
out
it
there
out.
and
Yeah.
just
Shit,
we
what are
just
you
like, you
talking
know.
about?
Dissing somebody on stage at their own show when you're supposed to be introducing them. I mean, I don't got a
You
dog
know-
in this fight, but
you
that would have
know
been pretty
what would've
legendary.
happened if they would have did that in Detroit?
I know that's why it would have been so legendary.
So it would have been legendary because the black dudes got lynched.
Are there any black dudes involved? No, I mean,
Tech Nine is black.
we're talking about clown stuff. This is clown business.
No.
You wouldn't understand. It's bigger than race.
Listen, no, it ain't. The fact that you saying it was legendary is crazy.
You're taking legendary in a
was it
totally different way
legendary
than I
that they hung
mentioned it.
Vanilla Ice ass over that?
I don't think that happened, did it?
No, what y'all definitely happened.
Really?
Was it legendary?
Yeah, that's pretty legendary.
Okay,
We're still
great.
talking about it all these years later, right?
Glad you copped to it.
Check this out.
Much love to Rob Van Winkle, but
that was love because boy, y'all could have started some shit in Detroit.
But we ain't stacked like
No,
that.
we didn't.
you
We
know?
Y'all was
weren't going
love.
out there. That was
Y'all was
never a
love.
plan. You know what I mean? We were trying to squash
Even from the
it, you
get,
know?
that wasn't, it wasn't even a thought.
And then,
Something
and
I
then,
know y'all
and then I
following
think
out
he
there
came
is
and played the
crazy.
gathering, not that year.
Yo, can y'all believe that? They go to Detroit and they're like, yo, like Tech said, this could get bad. You don't want the Juggalos to be a gang, which some people were saying that whole thing was a publicity stunt, that like those dudes that left Psychopathic Records that are beef, like they're ICP's main ops to this day. They were saying ICP was blowing this out of proportion with this whole list. Some say, nah, this was fucked up. They were really trying to, hit Juggalos with this whole gang tag and all that. I don't know, again, I'll dive and delve into all that more on another video. Again, let me know if you're intrigued to see that video. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, join the discussion on all these topics. As always, over here on Coffee Talk, we talk it up on music, news, sports, and more, and it's all about hearing from y'all, the people. But like, they go on in their hometown of Detroit, Chris, Calico, and Tech, who I believe they fell out too. That was crazy, man. I never expected to see that. They're all there, and they went on stage and told everyone, yo, it ain't no beef or whatever. But ICP, you heard them, like, they felt like Chris, Calico, and and Tech 9 and individuals he was rocking with were worried it could be a setup and they could go out there and diss him. And just to point out too, Wack 100's artist, The Game, actually did something similar to this in the Yuck Mouth beef. Y'all remember that, where they were beefing? Then they decided to get together and do a track to squash the issue. And Yuck had already laid down his verse. And then The Game got on there like, you know, yo, I'm going to piece it up with you. But he didn't. He got on there and dissed him. That's like some next level ish. Some would look at it like some snakery. Some would just say that's like warfare mentality, the art of war. I don't know, y'all could tap in with it below, but just wanted to point that out, that The Game did that. And I got to do that Game ICP beef video as well. But you know, all in all, they're like, yeah, man, this was the right thing to do. We made peace, everything was okay. Things could have went really bad. And Adam's like, that would have been legendary. And Wack is like, you know, that's when you know it's bad, when Wack 100 is the one making more sense. You feel me? And Wack's like, that would have been legendary. And then Adam tries to play dumb when he's talking about, what do you mean, Black? Like, this is clown business. Like, what are you talking about, Adam? He does that a lot, man. He plays dumb. That's like some hoe-ish, man. You really got, you know what I mean? Like, his real snakish mentality really, really was on full out display on this one, man. That's crazy, though, that's where his mind goes. Like, instead of peace was made, things could have got really out of hand. People, like, bodies could have dropped in the street. Like Tech was telling him, yo, I got Bloods behind me. I'm a Blood. You'll turn the Juggalos into a gang. You know what I'm saying? There will be gang violence going on. There will be gang warfare in the streets because the Juggalos turned on Tech. You know, it's, again, we'll talk more about that in that video. But Adam's mind just goes to, no, that would have been legendary to do that. Like, he's like really putting it full out on display here, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And then tries to play dumb. You got to watch that guy, man. I don't even want to call him a master manipulator, because to me, a master manipulator manipulates things and people often don't see it. They're like, what happened? Adam, it's so obvious, you know, but still got a lot of people fooled, man. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Again, hit them buttons, sub up. Look forward to talking to y'all in the comments. And I'm gone.